Hello, everyone. You're watching Spyrothon 6. Sorry to just jump in and interrupt the absolute banger track going on right now. But I think that we are all set up for the Spyro 1 90% NBS race between Magpie and Nolly. So if they're ready to go, I'll turn it on over to them. Magpie, good luck. Nolly, good luck. You guys got this.
Do we really? Oh. Did my internet?
I think we did the right thing.
Oh.
I think we're in the right spot. Okay. Transitions are difficult to do.
Are we here?
We're all here. We're on stream too.
Awesome.
We've made it and we're live. I got to figure out how I actually want to watch this because I didn't bother figuring that out before I started. Whoops. There we go. Okay. I got this. We're good. So this is going to be a Spyro 1 NBS race. No balloonist skip. Should be pretty fun. We got PurpleMagpie and NallyQ here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So, yeah. If you both are ready, let's just go ahead and get started.
Honestly, is anyone ever really ready for this type of thing?
I'm ready.
All right, well, you don't have to be here playing this awful game, so.
Let's go.
I mean, this amazing game, this truly amazing game that I am blessed to bring to all of you.
Okay. Well, without any further ado, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, both of you.
Good luck, Magpie.
I was on the wrong menu, and so I hit A once. And
Whoops.
didn't go into the game.
That happens. So yeah, I guess I can start with just some overview of what this is. I haven't prepared this commentary at all, so I'm just going to be rambling. Sorry in advance. But yeah, this is, like I said, Spyro 1 any%, no balloonist skip, which means it's basically the same any% that happens in the OG Spyro. We don't get to do the skip that makes it happen in 2 minutes. So we're going to hit all the homeworlds and collect all the requirements to meet the balloonists and have them take us to the next homeworld and stuff like that. Yeah, and we right away get to skip Nestor, which I missed being able to say because I was rambling on other things. It's a fun thing that you get to do in SRT that's not in the OG. And then we hit this really long loading zone for Stone Hill because arbitrarily the first loading zone of the game just decides to take 50 seconds.
So we love Stone Hill.
It's great.
I think it loads all of the assets or a huge chunk of the assets is why it does it.
It must do, yeah. So you're going to see a lot of basically the normal gameplay loop as we go through this level. You collect gems, you collect dragons, and then you exit the level. There's not much to it.
Something like an intended any% route versus some of the less intended where you skip everything with balloonist skip and stuff like that. Oops.
Yeah, so we'll still have to hit all the requirements for every homeworld, which in order are the Artisan's homeworld that we're in now is 10 dragons. To get out of Peacekeepers, the second world is 1,200 gems. You need 5 dragon eggs, which we'll see later. To leave Magic Crafters, you need 50 dragons to leave Peacemakers, and then 6,000 gems to leave Dreamweavers and enter the final world, Nasty's Nexus.
And I just pray that I do not enter Jacques at 5,500 gems because that would be tragic.
5,500, you're totally okay as long as it's more than 55.
Okay, slightly under 5,500 gems.
Yes, that would be bad.
You'll be fine.
So we're moving on into, I always want to say Town Hill or Square Stones or something that's not the name of this level.
I always try and say Town Hall because I used to play Warcraft so much.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
It's Bulls on Parade for me. So
that's also a good name. But yeah, Town Square. We're going to see a fun trick here, hopefully from both runners on their first try.
Don't jinx me. I've been messing this up.
Is it called the Fairy Flick still? I don't remember what it's actually called. But when they get this first dragon, whose name I also can't remember, which shows how much that I actually know about this game, they're going to stand on the pedestal in a certain way, and hopefully the Zoe that pops up will flick them up on top of her into this weird invisible hitbox, and they get to jump to the end of the level, just like that, like Magpie did, and Nally got it as well. Wonderful. So this is a good start to the race. Yeah, this lets us skip basically the whole left-hand side of the level and avoid having to do some different workarounds to get that dragon. It's probably like 10 or 15 seconds saved over the normal level route. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I
they're
used
also
to
going to
do
do
this
something.
until I learned it.
Yeah, we're also going to do something a little different coming out of this level. Instead of hitting the start and exit level button, we're going to use the guidebook to go to the Artisan's Homeworld, which means that instead of coming out of the town square portal, we start back at the start of the world, and you can just charge straight forward since they both got, or no, Magpie did not get Nestor first, so he's going to do the Nestor skip there and then move on and get the other dragons. I think
do a route that I straight up stole from Nally that she now no longer does, where you do Delbin first straight off,
Classic.
and then you get Nestor
Yep.
after guidebook.
Yeah. Most of that's pretty much the same. It looks like both of you are pretty much going to be doing the same route in terms of dragons for the rest of the game, though, so that should be fine. So yeah, we're out of artisans, both of the runners. They got 11 dragons. You don't generally actually want to meet like the minimum requirements for this run because it's more efficient to get extra stuff early on. So like out of Peacekeepers, they're going to have probably like 1,400 something gems instead of 1,200, and it just means we can go faster through the end of the game. Not much to the start of this world. There's just a dragon, and we're going to go straight into the first level, Cliff Town. And that's where we're going to see the first dragon egg.
Wow,
no, you're right.
Really
okay.
far ahead.
I literally never remember the order of these levels.
Honestly,
I both forget
they
their
all
names,
look the
and I think they
same.
get done in the wrong direction. So, yeah.
To be fair, when I go into Cliff Town, every time I have no idea where I'm at until I actually enter it.
Also true. Anyway, Dry Canyon's a boring level.
It is.
Yep. It
Just
is
wait
very
until I miss the
dry.
glide at the end.
That it is.
I haven't missed this glide. This used to be like a huge failure point for me, the glide at the very end of this level, and I haven't missed it in months. But this is the time. This is where I'm gonna miss this glide. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, you'll see what he's talking about right at the end of the level. But until then, it's pretty straightforward. There's a few different types of things that we're going to see. The first thing right to the right side here is a fan chest. You can use these to hit enemies if you aim them in the right direction. You don't generally do it here, but you can see like it broke the chest on Magpie's screen. It'll hit an enemy on a different one later on. We'll also see spring chests. You might not have seen it behind the 3 chests that they had at the beginning there, but when you flame them or actually charge into them in this game, they pop up a gem and you collect them by getting the gem that pops out, and then the chest breaks. Spyro 1 is kind of interesting because it has these different kinds of like types of gems that exist only in this game and not in 2 or 3, which I personally really like. I like the variety that it adds.
Oh my god.
Looks like Magpie got that glide. There's technically the other way to get through this. If you saw when they got the second dragon, they sort of like turned around. You can go up that and then go into this little tunnel on the left side and get up there, but it's a lot easier and faster to jump from the vortex area onto that small platform and just charge up. Saves like 8 seconds, I think, from any other route. Pretty nice. Now we're going into Cliff Town.
Now we're in Cliff Town.
Yeah, we're still pretty close. This should be good.
There's gonna be some bonks on some roofs in a minute.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've been
First thing, yeah. So first thing they're going to do here is move around to the back of the level. They're going to leave the starting hut and then do the circle around. There's a big jump to sort of cheat. You're supposed to technically get to the end of the level and then like go up a giant hill, and then you do this jump over here with a glide, and it's dumb and it wastes a lot of time. So instead of that, you can just sort of jump around it and glide and land. It's pretty similar to how it works in OG, which is kind of nice. It's impressive how much stuff actually transfers over in this category in particular.
All right, here comes the roof bonks. Oh, don't line it up right. Oh my god. I haven't been able to do that in like a week. And firework first try.
Nice. Yeah, so these jumps are a little tricky. That jump up to the higher platform that they did is just kind of tight. It's sort of right at the edge of how high Spyro can jump in this game. And then the rocket's just super finicky because it doesn't want to get lit.
Oh, come on. Don't do that to me.
Yeah. Big comparison that you didn't really see from Randy's Trifecta or any of the other runs is that this game doesn't have a hover, unlike Spyro 2 and 3. So whenever they try to jump to something, if they don't make it, they don't make it. You can't recover it with a hover. You sometimes just get this little auto fluttery thing that saves you just a tiny bit of height, but you have to otherwise be pretty accurate with how you're jumping. One of the things that really separates this from the OG games, though, is that when you are charging, your jump height is actually normal in this game. In the OGs, you have this very low but long jump instead. And that sort of changes some of the platforming that you can do here. Not a lot. It just means you can cut some corners, which is useful. But you don't really end up seeing too much of a difference with it in terms of routes.
Oh, the cannon!
So after this, we're going to be seeing our first flight level. This is still very neck and neck. It's really good. They shoot cannon to break the thing, then they enter the flight. And
Amazing.
oh, okay, we are doing it. Oh, yes. Okay, good. We made it in. So flight levels. I don't think we've seen any of them recently today. We sort of did with doing the level storage and other things like that. But Spyro 1 flights are a little bit different. They're just the flight part. You have 4 different collections of 8 things that you need to go get within the time limit that you're given. Night flight is kind of one of the worst, but only because it's so boring to start and then really annoying at the end.
Makes it very hard to practice.
It really does. You get like 30 seconds of literally nothing, and then you finally get to do something. And it's panicky.
Yeah. And this is also a bad place to have inputs get eaten, because if you take a certain bonk in some locations and your glide input gets eaten, you crash. Ask me how I know.
Yeah, that's sadly a frequent thing. I'm going to do a lot of comparisons to OG because that's what I like doing, apparently. A nice thing that you can do in this game as well is charge out of the flying that you're doing. In OG Spyro 1, you cannot do that. You can in 2 and 3, but in 1, you are stuck in the glide position. So you can do some of these tighter turns that you're seeing them both do here at the end by bonking or charging out or hovering out. Not hovering, stopping your glide out, things like that. Again, you don't really see it do too much in terms of routing, but it's just a little bit of a faster way of doing things, which is nice. You don't get the super speed that you get in Spyro 2 or 3, though. It is a normal speed charge.
Big thing about the charge drops out of the glide is they help in some other flights do very quick turns, especially at the beginning of them.
Yep. Seeing technically the second egg thief here, you might not have seen the first one, though. So we're going to collect 2 eggs in this world, and then we just need 3 in Magic Crafters. There's some good backups, but it's nice to get those first 2 so that you can do the fastest route. And into Shemp, this is the first boss level that we're going to see, but we're not actually going to see the boss because we really don't care about them. You don't need them to progress at all, and there's no benefit to Shemp in this level because he's really slow and only gives you like 30 gems. So we're just going to
win.
Yeah. They're just going to go through the first half of this level, collect the dragon, and then leave directly from there. A lot of these enemies are pretty finicky. You have to charge the smaller guys and flame the larger ones. And if you mistime your charge or flame, you'll get hit, and it's a very annoying time loss because you like have this really long knockback effect. It's like 2 seconds or so.
Yeah, I never realized until just now that both the enemies in that level actually have a knockback, have like the big knockback. I never even thought about that.
It's one of the few that does. Yeah, I think the Clifftown ones do as well.
The chefs do. I think the caballeros just stab you and you do the regular damage.
Might be.
And then there's birds, but who cares about birds? Birds with their iframes.
I love Ice Cavern.
Yeah. I'm gonna death cycle here, so just get ready about halfway through the level. Oh, this is a level. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of people say how much they love Ice Cavern for the movement and everything. I hate Ice Cavern.
I just think it's aesthetically unappealing. I kind of like how the OG looks better.
I think the OG level looked a lot better, but
Yeah.
it is still one of my favorite levels to actually play because it is a very smooth movement level.
Alti, I'm gonna have to let you down. You taught me how to do the faster magic stairs.
Dang.
But Nally taught me how to skip magic stairs.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a pretty exciting development that was just hidden from everybody, as a
Yeah,
lot of speed things generally are.
and that's where I death cycle the most. So unless I die right here,
Yeah, there's really no reason not to go for it at this point. I still think it's worth getting the 6 gems that are on the rest of the stairs, but that's just me. I don't blame anybody for not doing it.
but I risk death cycling,
Yeah.
which is for me a big deal because that's very common for me.
Yeah. Okay,
Don't
Nally
look at
did
those
do the magic
stairs.
stairs though. So you got to see the 2 different ways of doing it. What you saw on Magpie's screen on the left was some interesting collision where you just happen to have a standable platform on that angled rock, and you can jump on that and then jump up to the ledge that you get through with those other stairs. Yeah, still a very close race. Only like 2 or 3 seconds apart
Mhm.
in real time.
Magnus.
Now we'll have to see what happens with the loadless times or the in-game times. I don't know if either of you are using splits while you're doing this run.
I am.
We are.
Nice.
At least I am.
Yeah, I wanna see how badly I am off from my last night's PB that shouldn't
Oh,
have ever
that's
happened to begin with.
So you,
So-
I think what you saw Nally try to do, I can't remember
Yeah.
if I saw Magpie try to do it, was an early balloonist load. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. You can explain it a lot better than I can.
Yeah, so basically it's Nestor skip, but faster. You just jump into the balloonist as soon as you meet his sort of hitbox, I suppose. I think I'm going off the edge. Okay, saved it.
You and Magpie both were angled backwards on that balloon.
That's really funny.
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically Nestor skip, but a little bit faster with the menuing. The going into Magicrafters balloonist is the easier one to get. All the other ones are harder because they have 2 text blocks that you have to remember to skip, and I don't remember them.
Same. All right, so in Alpine, Magic Crafters in general is a slightly different world. You have enemies that actually change the layout of the platforms. They'll raise and lower things or make some things slide back and forth. So it's a little interesting with timing and cycles and stuff. Alpine Ridge is especially interesting because there's this door that we're going to see about halfway through the level where if you play on 60 FPS, the door will not open. So when you're running NBS, you will not run at 60 FPS. Most people run at either 50 or 30.
So actually, every single one of these enemies that changes the terrain, all of that terrain can break. Every single one. And it seems to be almost random how it breaks. Because we were watching another runner do a 120 run, and he was running on 60. And he was unaffected until the very last thing. Like, the door was down, the stairs were stairs, everything was fine until the raise and lower platform right after the door.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. But yeah, that's why we don't run at 60 FPS. You can't run at 60 FPS.
Classic SRT being weird. Magpie not quite getting the cycle onto that lowered platform. Ideally, you'll do what Nelly just got there. Ooh, almost got the weird chest thing though.
Yeah, I didn't want to risk it.
Yep, it was close.
Last time I got the cycle, I got thrown off, so I don't risk it anymore.
That's totally fair. You can do some camera manipulations to try and make it a little bit better, but it's not really worth. It doesn't lose too much time to just go to the side. It's just annoying when you assume you're going to make it and then don't.
The stupid 5 gem got stuck on the floor. Love it.
Ah, true classic.
I missed that 10. I missed that one of those chests, one of those 10 chests on my PB. So now I'm hyper conscious of them. Exit. Thank you. Menus, please. Menus are the true enemy of all speedrunners.
I missed a 10, but you know, overrated. We
I have
hate yellow
down
gems.
7 gems.
Yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit about like how the gemming works. Like I said before, that you need 1,200 to leave Peacekeepers, which obviously they had, and you need 6,000 gems to get out of Dreamweavers. I completely blanked on what I was about to say. Oh yes, how we do gem routing. So, like I said before as well, you generally want to get more gems in the front, so you don't need to get as many later on. But most of the routing relies on just finding the gems that have the highest value and aren't massively out of the way, and then going point to point between them.
Yeah, like the big room in Misty with all the Room of Death. There's a lot of gems in there, but it's so far out of the way, we can't go in there.
There is technically a dragon there too, though. So like it is possible that you could move around instead of doing the bottom area. I think the gemming is actually about the same, but it is a much riskier thing, and it's about the same, so not really worth it. I want to put Guanton in though at some point. It will happen, I'm sure. But yeah, you'll see sometimes, maybe they'll mention it here, or you'll see other runners if you ever watch NBS at any other point talking about their gem counts and whether they're high or low.
What?
You don't.
Okay.
You don't generally have to be exactly on a gem count. You can make up gems by the ones that you miss. Wow, that was an interesting experience on Magpie's screen. Not one that I've really seen before.
Yeah, I'm a master of whatever that was.
Yeah, moving platforms are frustrating to say the least. You also get momentum off of them in this game, which is kind of fun. So when you kill that second guy and you jump off of it to get to the ledge, you'll get the sideways momentum.
Can I get
Very strange.
any gems?
But yeah, like I was saying, you won't try to really hit an exact gem target. If you're short, you'll just pick up some of the gems that you wouldn't normally get in a later level. Or if you're high, you can skip over gems. We'll especially see that happen in Jacques, the last level in Dreamweavers, when we try to get to 6,000. Whatever gem count that you enter that level with determines the route that you take through the level most of the time. You can skip a lot of stuff if you only need like 250 gems. If you need anywhere from that to like 350, you can do a normal route. If you need 500 gems, good luck. You get to do 100% of the level.
Yeah. Hope you run 120 at some point in your pass, because there's a specific route that makes the best time, and it's not very intuitive.
Let's go. I've been missing that chest forever now.
Nice.
Oh, whatever. I'll take the bonk if I get the chest.
So entering Wizard Peak, this level has a lot of supercharges in it, and you'll see what they both tried to do at least. On the outside one with that 25 gem chest will sort of like touch the wall a little bit to slow down and then nudge out. We're going to see that happen more here with Lucas Hill. And I think Nally's going to do a keyboard and mouse attempt with that.
Nally's going to do
Yes,
that.
I
I'm just
am.
going to wing it.
This is another one of my favorite levels just because of the cycles at the beginning. It's more my favorite in OG because it's very consistent, but it is still fun if you ask me.
I love the opening. I'm usually very clean at it, but then sometimes something happens and then I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
It's definitely much less consistent in SRT. All the cycles of this game are. We'll see that especially happen in Blowhard.
Hello.
I'm going for the sheep. Oh, I messed up everything here. This is terrible. Whatever. This might as well happen.
That was an interesting experience with the egg.
Yeah, just all right. Keyboard mouse, let's go.
Yeah. So now he's at 4 eggs. She's going to have to get the second egg thief in this level. I think Magpie's got 5 now. I think he got the one in the...
I got one of the overworld.
Yeah, so he will be able to skip that.
Didn't get it.
Dead. Dang. But yeah,
That's
now
fine.
it's full attempt. You saw she tried to do
I
it.
swear, it's much easier doing keyboard mouse, but I am just a nervous potato.
If you say so, I will believe your assessment of the situation. Let's see what Magpie gets out of this.
I get nothing.
Dang. They both hit the same area on the stair, but ideally you want to keep your supercharge going up all the way around this. If you can, all the way to the top and like maybe even hit the dragon with it. That actually saves a surprising amount of time. It can be like 6 or 7 seconds compared to having to charge up the rest of that, especially with the bonk added.
I apparently can save 11 seconds. So
Really? Wow.
either my Lucas Hill was very bad, or it's actually 11 seconds.
I have no
Yeah.
idea, honestly.
My gold is 14 seconds away, but I also took a weird jank stuff, getting an extra spark so I could get gems.
Mm-hmm. Into Crystal Flight, this one is probably my actual favorite flight level.
You're a liar.
I'm super
Wow.
good at this. Watch me fail.
So I like Wild Flight the most in OG. I don't like it in SRT. This is my favorite in SRT. But the intro of this level is fun because you get to this fun turnaround and then you just get a bunch of planes in a row. So you'll see her drop down, go get some planes, get some arches, and then come back and get the rest of the planes. And then it's kind of boring after that, but it's still some good movement. Oh no, what do we got?
How did... Okay, I'm restarting. I landed on the
top
arch.
of the arch. Yeah,
I've never seen that.
If you charge too early or let go of it, rather, it's a fun timing problem.
I've never seen that happen. This is what I get for bragging that I'm good at this flight. Of course. And then I missed the last plane. Thank God that doesn't really cost time, but...
I missed one of them.
The last two, you can miss the last two and it only costs you like a second because of the way the cycles line up, but
Yeah.
if you miss any of the others, you're in trouble. I'm not even gonna bother to charge drop here because if I charge drop there, I have a bad habit of catching too low, and if you catch too low, you crash.
Yep.
Bonus points for Cletus too. Yeah, we'll see about that.
One last thing you saw on Nally's screen at the end there, and we should see it on Magpie's as well, because he's got plane. Yes, okay, so we should see it here. Is an animation skip at the end. Normally Spyro flies up at the end of flights and has this long animation where the items go in a big circle, but if you are in some collision, you get to skip that after just a tiny bit, and that legitimately saves like 4 or 5 seconds because you can't skip the rest of that animation. So very useful. A lot of flight routing is actually based around that in terms of the end of the run.
Oof, I almost missed that cycle.
Yeah. Got a little bit more of a gap now. Still only like 12 seconds, I think, between the two. So very much could go either person's way.
Come on, Metalhead.
Metalhead.
Wait, not Metalhead, the
Oh,
great
okay.
equalizer.
Yes. Meanwhile, though, we're in Blowhard, which is definitely the most cycle-based thing that you can really have in this game. Just there's so many enemies that you need to get in the right cycle, and sadly Nally did not quite get the good one to get these enemies here at the beginning. Yeah, just a lot of enemies. Then this middle room that she's about to enter has these raising and lowering platforms. If you time it right, you can get all the gems and jump up. Nicely done. And then there's 2 more moving platforms, and then the rest of the level is just collecting some fireworks. Let's see how Magpie does. It's like definitely a better cycle. So you can see, like, even though it did basically the same thing at the beginning of the level, the mages were in a very different position. Yes, this jump onto the second platform is a difficult thing to time. You have to have a really good time from when you flame Blowhard to get in there.
You cannot charge these guys, by the way, because you will bonk, and then that's real sad on the second set, because then you die. Ask me how I know.
One of my least favorite changes is that you cannot flame charge in this game. So
It's the worst.
from OG, when you would do the nice sort of really quick movement on that second set of people in the cave, where you can just flame charge them and not stop, you can't do that. You have to stop on the platform to collect the 10 gem, and it's a 10, so we want to get it. Definitely don't want to skip one of those.
Yeah. I think that's the worst part, is you can't really skip anything in there that you normally get, because they're just so valuable. Just such a gem-dense level, you can't really skip anything. There's even more gems that we don't get that are actually... If you're behind gems, they're a good place to grab them. Not a whole lot, but...
Both into Beastmakers now. This is where the game sort of picks up in its like actual difficulty in terms of enemies and density and stuff. There's also generally more gems in every level, which is kind of nice as well. Terrace is another one that's sort of cycle-based. I'm convinced that not following the cycles is actually faster than following the cycles if you miss it by a tiny bit.
I'm convinced that I hate this level.
I think you're right, because I did that in my PB, and it saved me a ton of time.
Yeah. We'll see it when Nally gets to the middle of this level here. There's a bunch of different electric platforms that will hurt you. And you have to kill the enemy. but they're in weird cycles, and it's not actually too consistent. So it's basically luck of the draw whether or not it'll work out for you. They are like close to consistent, but it's definitely not as good as it is in OG, as always.
One's got some serious nostalgia goggles going here, huh?
Oh no, I legitimately think the cycles are better than OG.
Oh no, they probably are. Okay, I hate that guy. You have to be real early on your flame. Alright, I don't know what happened on that one. You have to be real early on your flame on that one guy, or else you get hit, and it sucks.
So here's the cycle area. This area over here is kind of annoying because Sparks will pick up a butterfly that's just floating around there while you want to collect like 30 gems, so you just gotta wait for him. Kind of sucks. This is a really good cycle. Yeah, that was really good. Could not have asked for much better than that. Just lined up that she was able to kill the charging enemies, electric, I don't know what you call them. The shorter ones that hurt you.
Them dudes.
Yeah. Let's see what Magpie's got here.
Yeah, I killed that guy, but I gotta wait for this one.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be slightly off.
That was a 2.5 gold. Oh my gosh.
Nice. Yeah, it was really well timed.
That was nuts.
Magpie's actually worked out pretty well as well in the end. Waiting just that little bit was nice there. Magpie will finish that level up. Meanwhile, Nally's going to do this kind of annoying area of the overworld. If you ask me, it's my least favorite part of this one, at least. Just a lot of moving around and a fireworks chest and some boars, and yeah.
You just do Green's method, and it's great.
When it works.
Let's see if I can do Green's method. Oh, thank God. I'd look like an idiot if I screwed that up.
Nice. Yeah, so you get some iframes off of the fireworks bonk, so you can do some fun stuff with that. The boars, though, I just hate that they chase you, especially the one behind the hut there. Into Wild Flight, my favorite in OG, but SRT is annoying and floaty and boaty and makes this a lot less fun because you will just get sucked into the water sometime.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, I missed a blue gem. That's unfortunate.
Oh no. Oh, it's a crash.
Yeah. My game's lagging a little bit, but it's fine.
One of the
I need to do that like 4 more times.
one of those differences is the timing of where these enemies in the boats are. So you have to do this weird sort of drop down after this arch that Nally's going through now to hit that guy. And if you miss your X input or you charge too low or anything else like that, yeah, it's a bad time. Looks like there was a boat there. It isn't too bad of an issue. You can just come back and get that one later. But it will mean that there's not going to be an animation skip here.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh no.
I guess it's fine. No, it's fine. Okay, I was ahead.
I see. So normally Nally would have ended the flight there, but now she's going to go back and get the plane there, and
I
then
do get a
the
skip
boat at
anyway.
the end. Oh, nice. Good timing.
Oh, I missed the plane, of course. I hate you. Die.
Yeah, so Nally got the skip because she hit the collision of the top of that tunnel. Like I said, it's just whether it's collision, it's not a specific place. Meanwhile, you got to see Magpie fly all the way up and lose a little bit of time there. But this race is still actually very close. It's now only like 6 seconds apart real time. Very impressive.
That blue gem. I'm not leaving that one behind. Leave no blue gem behind.
I tried.
Now, the wonderful level called Misty Bog. Sadly, no flying skip. But we get to have fun with some frogs and other annoying enemies.
You love frogs.
One thing SRT got slightly better is the frogs. I will admit that.
Only
I
to
am
play on
okay
30.
with the frogs in this one.
If you play on 60, which I did in my casual run, they will still destroy you.
Yeah. Well, I don't play on 60.
That's because you're smart. I was not. Come here, chicken. I need you.
Yeah, so one of the the interesting parts of the geometry of this level is that you can just skip right to the end of the level here. Like the vortex is on top of this platform where they're going to get the dragon, and you can just sort of take 1 damage in the water up there and just skip, which is pretty neat if you have like a vortex like category. I don't think the actual routing of this level is very different. In fact, if you were going to put in Guanton, it would probably actually be faster to not do it this way. But it is helpful for how we do this level now. There's a lot of empty water space that you can fall into on this level, and there are a lot of enemies that will knock you into the water in this level.
This level's just real bad times, like the whole way through. There's not a single part where you enjoy yourself, except on the exit level part.
I legitimately enjoy all of this level.
You are something else. Let's say that. Oh god. Okay.
I'll take it.
Evil potatoes almost got me.
This is one of those levels that I think just has a really good reward for consistent play versus risky plays. And it's all movement.
I took an intentional death because I don't have sparks.
Oh yes, good plan.
Misty with no sparks is awful.
Yeah, so that is actually a lead change, technically. Magpie is now ahead by just a few seconds. I don't think the game timer pauses when you do a death abuse.
Nope.
No, so that wouldn't have affected that at all. But yeah, still very close. Let's look at gems. What are we looking at? 42.29 for Magpie out of Misty Bog.
I think it's low. Whatever. I'll find out at Metalhead.
Yep, and 42.11 out of Misty Finale. Both are still pretty good. Not going to have any problems for the rest of the game based on that.
Like I said, I'll find out at Metalhead because
I'm sticking with that assessment.
I know. Out of Alpine is 1800, and then like entering Terrace is like, or leaving Terrace. Okay, can I get cutscene skip? I didn't. Entering Terrace is like 30 something or something, and then I don't remember past that.
The only jump count I actually know is Icy. 51.96 is my idea. 51.96? No, it's not. 53.96. I think both of them went for it here, but there's a short skip that you can do with that little animation of the thief jumping and then running away. If you just jump back into the left, you can just jump around the trigger. That would normally play that, and I think it can save about a second, but I don't actually know because it is a little bit of a time waste to do that backwards movement. Magpie with the early thief flame, nice. It's really good. So
the thief knocked me off the end of the ramp.
Oh no,
Oh.
I have not actually seen that before.
Great, love it.
If you do my like kind of slow method, it's pretty consistent as long as you get it. That you'll get thief off a second flame off of that. Oh wow, the bonk on the torch. Never done that before.
Just straight into it. That'll do it then.
I don't know why I'm about to go back for the supercharge, but why not?
Got to get that charge into the chest. Don't want to have to use the key. Oh,
I
we'll use the key
that.
anyway.
I haven't done that in ages. I think I've gotten that like 3 times ever.
Oh well.
Technically, those are backup gems, but they're right there. So.
Those are just part of my route. I could probably skip them.
Okay, Bobby told me they're backup gems. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I don't really follow any actual route though, so whatever I say is made up anyway. Yeah, okay. This is a fun trick to do with the supercharges. Normally you're supposed to go around like 80% of this level to do this, but you can just take this supercharge, do a turnaround,
I missed the thief.
and make it seem like you're getting make the game think that you're getting 2 supercharges, get the speed that you need, and then end up on the top platform here with this red thief and the rest of these high value gems.
Nally, eat the thief.
We shall see. Good, they both got it.
You eat the thief.
Didn't get
I
the thief,
know what I'm doing.
but made it up to the platform. That's the more important part there.
I wanted to see him eat it. I wanted them to see the thief get yeeted. It's so good. Dude just like sails. It's great. Okay.
All right, now for the best level. Everyone's favorite, Metalhead.
I was doing skill points yesterday, and
Why were you doing skill points?
Just because I didn't have it on my casual save.
Hmm.
And at the end of the first phase, he just disappeared. Just vanished. And I completed the second phase and nothing happened. It was the weirdest bug I've ever seen.
Gotta love it. So you've seen this level a few times in SRT now. And it's come up before that yes, Metalhead is not very well made and will do very bad things when you play this level at any speed. Particularly when you play it fast though. This is another case where cycles are sort of consistent, but not actually. Which is also a frustration point. But just like... I was going to say this is the first boss that we're hitting, but it's not. Blowhard was. Oh, I thought I added Magnus as an FFC emote. Whoops. You got Cletus, though. Cletus is there. And Nudes.
Oh! That guy keeps hitting me. Can I get away from him?
I don't think you can actually flame both of those enemies at the same time in OG. Or in one cycle. You have to get one, then step away, and then get the other. At least I've never been able to get it. Yeah. Magpie now doing the Metalhead fight, so there's these pylons that turn red when they will hurt you and are green otherwise, and ideally you can do these all in one nice like fluid path, but the cycling that I mentioned before almost never wants you to actually do that.
Also, sometimes they don't flash red, they just go red, and it's great.
Also true, yeah. There's just two phases of this. Luckily the second one is more consistent at least. But yeah, we talked about the frustration of Metalhead. Sometimes he just won't be there. Sometimes he'll kill himself at different points, or he'll get stuck in the top area, or he'll throw a monkey at you backwards, and that causes problems. There's just a lot that can be bad in this level. That's absolutely not your fault.
Really, the last tick.
Close.
Get me out of this level.
Also, a different change in SRT that's not in the OG is that Metalhead has a cutscene that you can't move during. In OG, his animation plays, and I think it is a cutscene, but it's still rendered like in-game, and you can move Spyro. Which is kind of frustrating to me that you can't do it. I'm always sad, and I'm like, I just want to move. But you gotta wait 4 seconds.
It's such a long cutscene, and then it messes up your camera, so your movement's awkward after that, too.
Yeah, it will be different every time.
It's terrible.
Yep. Alright, cleaning up the Beastmaker's homeworld, and they'll be into Dreamweavers, which is a very different experience than the rest of the homeworlds that we've seen so far. We actually don't have to do most of the world, and we don't want to, because all the levels are very long. But we have enough gems, and that's all we need. We don't need any other requirements for the rest of the game. We just need the 6,000 gems. So all we're going to do there, once they finish this homeworld, is go pretty much straight to Icy Flight, and then into Jacques, and we'll be done with Dreamweavers. Do that well, though.
That well, you need to splash your run in the well water for good luck. That's definitely what that was, and it's definitely not a mess up of well skill.
Are you ready to go?
So I'm gonna go for Dreamweaver jump.
Ooh, we're doing
I
it.
hate you.
Yeah.
If she does it, I
What
have to
do you
do it.
Wow. Them's the rules.
just to see if I could do it. It's been going well, but
She was just like doing it repeatedly earlier to show off.
Classic. Too skilled.
my game is a little bit laggy now, so might happen, might not.
Alright, I don't know how to do this. I lied, I know how to do it.
Oh. Oh, hey. Well, there you go. That's more consistent than I've ever been at that trick. OG, it's fairly easy. I literally can't see where you're supposed to aim in this one for some
Yeah,
reason.
the grass texture gets in the way.
Yeah, it just saves you from having to go over a whirlwind. You're going to see a similar thing here. They're going to skip the third whirlwind in the stack and just jump to this cannon. Saves like a second.
Give me your gem.
Sadly, in this game, they have to go up here to shrink those enemies with the shrink cannon thing. In OG, you can do a proxy off of them, and it saves like 30 seconds, legitimately. It does change a lot of the gem routing throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, because they have a lot of gems on them. They have 10 each.
Yeah. And you also don't get the other 70 or 80 from the rest of the world. So, big differences. That's why, I think that's probably why OG does Wonton, actually. But yeah, Icy Flight.
Could be on some good gem routing.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is where you really like know what your gem count is. So you have Magpie has 5364 here. You get 300 from Icy Flight. There are 15 more in the homeworld, 16 really, on your way into Jacques, and then that's how many you need in Jacques. So ideally, you want to be right on where they both are, which is the mid 5300s. If you're above that, then you can do a really short Jacques. If you're below that, then you're probably going to have to do something a little bit longer.
Hate that pylon. That one beacon only lights when I bonk it.
Yep, it is consistently like that, and it's not great. But at least you can plan on it. Really not too much else to say in this one, because it's more of the same. It's just long.
It's nap time.
Well,
Yeah.
you get to see how bad I am at this because I always forget the right cycles.
They don't exist.
I think I'm on a good cycle somehow.
Seems all right.
Okay, well,
Timing of that train was good. Yeah, this works.
whatever.
This is one of the guys there. This level does not have an animation skip in a good route yet. In OG, you can do something very, very specific and hit the helicopter blade. Nice. You can hit the helicopter blade of one of those flying guys as you flame them and get an immediate animation skip, which is pretty great and pretty crazy. We actually saw Saboom do that last year in Spyrothon. No, 2 years ago in Spyrothon 4, I believe.
I've died on the glide from IC to Jacques I don't know how many times, and it is the saddest experience of your life. Especially because you have a million years to recover from not hitting a glide button, but sometimes you just charge off and you're like, yep, that's my life.
Yep, I do that all the time. All right, Jockey Boy.
We love Jacques. Tony.
I didn't look at... So, I have this thing whenever I do runs of this game that I forget to look at my gem count all the time. And I forgot to look at Magpie's gem count this time. So, consistency on my end, at least. I think Nally was at 5668.
Yep.
Which makes sense, because we talked about their gem count, and I said it's consistent at this point. So, you'd think I'd remember that, but my memory also sucks.
Same.
Alright, Magpie got one layer cake. Nally's probably going to do it too. Because apparently I'm lame and just do two anyway. Wow. Not even a hesitation there. It's okay, I agree.
No.
Wow. Yeah, so Jockey Boy. Oh no. This should be exciting. Ah, yes. Wonderful.
I did the saddest thing in a speedrun history, and that's I got hit by Jacques of all things.
Well, that's the better place to do it. If it's going to happen anywhere, that's the one that you want. You don't want the other two. Another frustration on my end that SRT changed is that you can't charge through Jacques after you hit him. You have to wait for him to actually move, and then his actual hitbox on that last platform where he gives you the gems is longer than the other ones, and so it's very slow. Yeah, this race has tightened up again. We're only like 4 seconds apart. 3 or 4.
Get me out.
Definitely going to be interested in seeing what the loadless time is for these runs.
Okay, Cove Skip, be nice. As long as Cove Skip is nice, and then also Twilight Harbor, and then also Nasty Nork. So as long as the rest of the game is nice.
Yes, as long as you know, normal things happen. and you can keep high level play for 10 minutes. We should be good.
That's a real challenge for me.
We'll see. So we're going into North Cove. This level is actually incredibly similar to what happens in OG, just done a slightly different way. In OG, you can skip the entire level by proxying off of the enemy with a barrel and getting over the wall. In this one, you can do an interesting wall glide, which is kind of strange because this is really the only place that wall glides actually work in this game, comparatively. They definitely do not happen nearly as much as they do in the OG game, either in 90% or in 120. But you're going to see both of them. Hopefully go before this can get it. Once they get past this first little area, they're going to hit this wall, jump on a rock, and then try to wall glide up, land on the wall, and then glide to the vortex.
I don't think that's going to make it. No.
This is one of those ones that is just kind of finicky. It's invisible collision, so you just have to hope that you're aiming in the right area.
There we go. This
You're
can
right.
kill your run at the very end, and it sucks every time.
Yeah. Okay, Magpie's got it. And now he's got it. Now he's got the right side. Okay. Risky
I've been
there.
getting that lately. I don't know why.
Speedy. And you are right, not if it's not a proxy. It's just a collision interaction that happens to push you upwards.
Okay, can I get 1 HP skip on Twilight Harbor? If I make it, I save like a second. If I fail it, I lose like 4.
We'll see. Yeah, so they're going to both go for a shortcut in this level instead of going around the right side. Once they get past this first area, they're going to go around the big pillar in the middle on the left, and then just fall on the acid once or twice, depending on how it goes, and then land.
Nice.
And continue the rest of the level. Sounds like Magpie's got the first one. You can do a little wall glide there like he did, and only take 1 dragon. Or 1 damage, not dragon.
1 dragon.
Well, hopefully you only take 1 dragon too, so.
Oh!
You know what, Zach? Alright.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, almost had a heart attack. I bumped the wall.
Oh, we're
during
getting
the supercharge.
Cletus. The intentional Cletus. Okay.
We're gonna get the Cletus. Do I have to go back in for Cletus?
It's a little late
He
for that.
bullied me.
Oh, he
I'll wait.
bullied by saying 1 thing.
He said it like 3 times in this chat. In the chat.
I
That's about
guess.
Cletus timing.
All right, Magpie making it fair. Anyway, into Nasty North. And the last part of the game, so time is coming up soon, will be when we flame Nasty Nork.
There's gonna be a tremendous amount of chaos at the end of this run, and one
Yeah.
of us may die, and
It's
it'll
me.
probably be me. Okay, alright, well, it'll be both of us. We're both gonna die, and we're just gonna death cycle on Nasty Nork. It'll be great.
I love lava.
I may also die on the first glide. We'll see. Easiest key skip.
Yeah, so you can flame both of these thieves early, which is pretty nice. We'll see if they get them. Magpie got the first. Nally got the first. Magpie did not get the second one at the earliest that you can get him, but did get the second back up, which is good. Loses about 6 seconds, sadly, but it works out. And it looks like Nally got both. So this is tied right now.
Oh no.
This may be like a half-second difference at the end of this race. Very exciting. Who knows what's going to happen? Literally anything could. The end of this is some very tough platforming, and yeah, anything could happen here.
A lot of chaos. If you like Coyote Time, this is the place to watch for Coyote Time, because there's like a year between leaving a platform and a jump at some point.
Yeah, depends on if you want to be risky or not. It's up to you. Decide now. Are you going to do the safety glides or not?
Nah.
No safety glides.
Look at
okay.
that. It's like a year.
Wow, this is like to the frame with these jumps.
Oh. It's time for me.
Okay, on the screen. Now I don't know what happened with the stream delays. On stream, Nally won by a quarter of a second.
Oh, it was that little thing right at the end. I just messed up one little jump.
Yeah, so we don't know who technically won that because there is stream delay. Actually, I think I can go look at this. I want to figure this out. Let's see if I go to this layout. Okay, so Nally's stream is technically coming in about no, these are dead tie. So yeah, it was a quarter of a second difference, real
That's
time.
hilarious.
Nice.
Now the real question though is, what did you guys get loadless time?
Let me.
How do I put my splits on screen?
I'm just gonna capture live.
Just
Lord.
plop it into the OBS overlay
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
on top of the game. Let's see what we got.
Hold on a second.
We can see the in-game time. Who really cares about that one on PC because it varies drastically.
I need to move it over here. There we go.
We're gonna see real quick. Oh, we got it over the webcam for Magpie.
Where is it? Sorry.
Can't really see that one.
Hold on, I give it a
Let's
second.
pop it over the game. 37-19 for Magpie. And on Nally's side, we've got a 36-07. So, slightly different. But that just goes to show you that the timing of the loads and how long those take, it's very different. You never know what's going to happen here. This is why we use loadless timers.
I just want to say, because I'm here to outro the run, the winner of the run got Cletus 2.
Wait, we forgot something. Nally, we forgot something.
We did. Hold on. There we go.
What are we doing? Ah, yes, Magnus.
Yep.
Big Daddy Magnus.
Ancient history now.
It's like
So,
my screen
what's
now.
in there?
I believe this is Nasty's treasure hoard. But the gate will only open if you have found everything in the Dragon Kingdom. Come back when you have reached
Well,
that was everything.
100%.
Yeah, that's Spyro 1, any percent, no balloonist skip for SRT. What an ending.
GG, guys. That was a really good race.
GG.
GG.
One day I will beat you.
We'll see.
Wow. That's a bold claim there.
The Spyrothon 7 rematch, everybody.
You heard it here.
All right. Thank you, Nolly. Thank you, Magpie, for that awesome race. That was really fun to watch.
Thank you, Faulty, for doing the commentary and everything,
Of
and
course.
Spyrothon for having us on.
Yeah, thank
It
you
was
guys.
a lot of fun, even though we were all both nervous wrecks before the beginning of this.
Absolutely. Yep.
It was great. Worked out really well.
All right. Thank you again to Magpie, Nolly, and Faulty for that awesome race. That was really fun to watch. That was really close throughout the entire thing. So we are still kind of in an unsure stage with the quiz corner. So I think, just don't quote me on this. Don't hold me to this, guys. But I think we're going to move into the co-op blackout bingo next, but I am going to go double check on that, and I will update you guys on that in a second.